is to solve new problems and move. Now, exercise is amazing for our brain, but if we can make exercise that's something that's new and challenging, play grows the brain cells as we age. It does. Particularly when it's new and they have to figure out different things to do and things are novel. So one way we can get our adults to mess themselves up is they don't do anything. They come to us and they've done nothing for 30 years. The other way is they've done only one thing. Who here works with runners? People that run a lot or cycle a lot. Their hearts. That's it. 10 different ways. I see some rolling. That's it. Good. Oh, somersault. Jumping, hopping. Think. What can that body do? There you go. Got 30 more seconds to finish. And stop. Good job. All right, very good. Give yourselves a hand. So with body awareness, what we're doing is we're taking people whose life has been this, and we're just saying, hey, just go figure something out. Go play. Just whatever. And you'll see people be like, good. That's good. They're figuring something out. Because after a couple weeks of doing that, pretty soon you'll see them. They're doing cartwheels. They increase that level of body awareness. Now another thing we do, we call this creative discovery. And I see some of my youth physical literacy specialists in here that understand all this stuff. They're taking it. I see some of my people in here. So creative discovery is when we're just throwing out some words and we tell them to, and first we start with normal. I'll say 3 words. I'm going to say shuffle, run, roll. And I want you to put those 3 movements together in a sequence and do it over and over and over again. So it'd be shuffle, run, roll. Shuffle, run, roll. Just keep going until I say switch. Ready, go. Shuffle, run, roll. Go. Shuffle, run, roll. All right, now skip, jump, spin. Skip, jump, spin. That's it. Skip, jump, spin. Now crawl, push up, hop. Crawl, push up, hop. So let's just say sneak. You're going to sneak, explode, and escape. Sneak, explode, escape. Go. Sneak, explode, escape. That's nice. There you go. All right, can we identify our life? It's called directional awareness. And what we'll find is, as people get older, if people have done nothing or they've done only one thing, they lose their ability to move in different directions. So if I'm somebody who just ran, this is all I've done, all of a sudden I have to move sideways, my body doesn't know what to do. So what we're going to do, actually to make this more fun, instead let's have one partner down on this side, one partner down on that side. So we'll switch. So just one partner is on this side, one partner is on that side. Now, do you know your partner's name? Yes. Okay. Here's your job. You have to move your partner through this field of cones. Their eyes are going to be closed. So you need to tell them, you need to call out their name. You might say, right, stop. Now left. Whatever it is, it out. And I'm going to go around, I'm going to be moving cones too, to be mean. All right, so you close your eyes. Eyes closed. Call out your partner's name so they can hear it. And you guys, so go and open your eyes real quick. Another thing we're working on here is auditory. All right, ready? Go! Okay, now, switch. Other partners going, and this time it's a race. Yes, it's a race to see who can get to the other side first. If you touch a cone, you gotta go back. If you touch the cone, you gotta go back. So this time it's a race. So let's have, if you were moving last time, go back over there. So if you started there, go back there. If you started there, go there. Yep. And when I say go, you can move to your partner. When I say go, you can move to your partner to let them know where they need to go. All right, so I'm going to spread some of these out. I'm going to be mean this time. All right, eyes closed. Eyes closed. You can go to them as soon as I say go. And it's going to be a race to the other side. Let me configure some things so that it's meaner. Ready? Eyes closed. Eyes closed. Ready, go!
Ang daya nyo, wala naman kayong cone eh. Walang cone. Ang luwag ng daan nyo. Kaya nga.
So think about, so all of us are very fit, all of us move a lot. But think about if we have someone who's just sitting at a desk all day long, they don't really know. If we say, move your body to the right, to the right. But it's important that they learn how to move their body in different directions. That way, if they're in the subway or if they're in the store or something like that, their body's going to move in different directions. And it's fun. It's something fun. Did anybody find it pretty challenging to respond to our partner and eyes closed? That's called directional awareness. It's also called auditory awareness because we have to hear it. We have to do all that. So come on out. Give yourselves a hand, by the way. Okay, let's go to spread out. Make sure you have 2 meters around you. 2 meters. Now there's spatial awareness. Now spatial awareness represents our client's ability to understand how much space their body takes up and how much space is around them. Now, spatial ability is important when they're driving. It's important when they're walking on the sidewalk and there's obstacles that they might need to move over, or if we're playing a ball sport or something like that, their ability to see how far are things away from them, but also how much space does my body take up? If people aren't out moving and occupying space with their body a lot, like if I'm sitting here all day, I lose spatial awareness. When I lose spatial awareness, my risk of falling goes up a lot higher. It means that my brain can't create a map of the world around me and feed it to my body. That's what a lack of spatial awareness means. So a couple ways we can do this is we can first get people to understand the space around them and be able to navigate it better. So one of my favorite ways to do this, I call this agility shapes. So I'm going to call out a letter or a number or maybe an object or whatever it is, and you're going to create it on the ground just with your feet. It's like your feet are a paintbrush. So if I say create the letter 2, it would look like this. Just like that. So really spread out, really spread out. So we're going to start, you're going to create the first letter of your first name. So spread out, spread out. So the first letter of your first name. Go. Eyes up. Don't look at the ground. I want you just to know where your body is in space. The first letter of your first name. Okay, now, the number 1. The number 2. The letter cat, C-A-T. Now, make a car. Make a car. Draw a car on the ground. Ready, go. Eyes up. Eyes up. Eyes up. Eyes up. That's it, mate. That's it. Now I want you to find your partner from earlier. You have 5 seconds to find your partner from earlier. Now with your partner, you're going to make a house. Now you need to make a house, but as you're moving, you need to communicate as to who is going to do what as you're moving. All right, you're going to make a house. Ready, go. Communicate with your partner. Communicate with them. You're going to make a house. A house, yep. Square roof. Together, yep. And stop. Nice job. What was the challenge there? So we got used to navigating because this is what's so interesting, because when we do those simple things like that, I say, oh, make the first letter of your name. Do you realize what has to happen for that to happen? Your brain has to see a picture of it. Then the brain has to say, okay, here's that picture, feet. Create that picture in this space that you have available. We can do it immediately because we're active. We're used to moving. We're used to being active in spaces. We understand that. We know how much space we have. We're not walking around tripping and falling most of the time. Now, when we bring a partner into it, all of a sudden now we have to have a picture in our brain, but then we have to communicate. Again, remember that social cohesiveness. Think how you could and again, that's just a start. Think about how in some of your activities that you can do, how can we create that? All right, now another spatial activity. I want everybody to get their own cone. So everybody get your own cone and then spread out. Get your own cone and spread out. Our ability to identify space depends largely on vision. It's mostly on vision. So if I were to tell you to step over the cone, so everybody do this. I want you to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, side to side, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. Up and over. All right, now I want you to do it with one eye closed and go. One eye closed. Other eye closed. That's it. Good. Now both eyes closed. Now you gotta know where you're at in space. Don't step on that cone. And stop. Yeah, some of us traveled pretty far away from our cone. That means that realize, and we're gonna do another one here, realize that when we take vision out of it, and our body starts to drift, it means that we're not really sensing where we are in space. We're just relying purely on vision. In order to have a true sense of where we are in space, it's more complex. So now what I want you to do is we're going to step forward over your cone, then back. And forward and back just like that. So forward and back as fast as you can. Here we go. Ready, go. Eyes are up. That's it. Forward and back as fast as you can. Good. Notice we're right next to our cone. No problem. Forward and back. Good. So sense where you're at in space. Get a feel of where this is. Now stop. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. Your body knows what to do, but we're going to close your eyes. And we're going to see if your body truly understands where you're at in space. Your eyes are closed. Ready, go. A little bit faster. That's it. Don't be stepping on that cone. That's it. 5 more seconds. 4, 3, and stop. Look down. Is the cone anywhere near you? Very good. So I'll do this with my clients, and we'll just have a line on the ground. And what they find is that they'll go and move, and as long as they can look, it's fine. The second they can't look, you realize they don't truly have an idea of their body and the space it takes up. They're relying largely on that. All right, so that's another thing that's just, now, auditory awareness. This is our ability to identify sound. All right, so it's our ability to, can we hear something and react to it? And there's different ways that our body responds to this. But what we're going to do is I'm going to grab my whistle here. That is the number that you need to get into a group of. So if I blow it, that means you would need to get in groups of 3. If you're not in a group of 3, I'm a shark. If the shark chomps you, you have to go on stage and do a dance for 5 seconds before you can join the game again. Now, if you're in a group of 5, that's not 3. No one's safe. Okay? So here we go. Let's start shuffling around the room. Go. Arms around each other, just like this. Arms around each other. All right, now, skipping around the room. Skipping, go. People, and depending on where I'm at in the world or what I'm doing, I will have sometimes 1,000 people. And in order to get them I want to do an activity, they need to find partners. If I tell 1,000 people, everybody find a partner, we're going to be there forever. We're not going to be able to do anything. The second we make it a game, I can form partners I can form groups of 20. I can form groups of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can take a group of 1,000 people and divide them into 50 different lines in 10 seconds. In a fun way. So it's just a way, for one, that's fun. But what it does too is, yeah, exactly. So as you're moving around, no matter what was going on, what did you have to continue? Which sense did you constantly have to? You had to, because if you got into what you were doing, you're just doing this, and all of a sudden you weren't using your auditory sense, then you couldn't participate in the game. So it teaches people to use these sensory skills. Now, I want you to we're going to talk about vestibular awareness. Now, vestibular awareness represents our ability for our brain. So inside of our head and in our inner ear, we have a little mechanism that helps us balance. And it's pretty much based on kind of fluid, and fluid inside these little canals. So if our head moves forward, the fluid in those canals move forward as well, and it gives our body a signal that says the head is moving forward. If you don't want this to happen, you need to take some steps to get your erector spinae to fire up. Put a leg out in front of you. And it's very important because our head's pretty important for most people. So we have this little machinery inside of our head it's very much largely part of balance, is our vestibular system. So our ability to balance, whether we're balancing on one leg or whatever it is very important. So let's just start really simple. All I want you to do is go ahead and spread out. All I want you to do, without looking at your feet, we're just going to go heel to toe 5 steps forward, and then heel to toe 5 steps back, without looking at your feet. 5 steps forward, 5 steps back. Good. Now we're going to do the same thing with your eyes closed. And go. 5 steps forward. Some of you look like you've been drinking at lunch. 5 steps forward, 5 steps back. Good. And stop. Now you're going to keep your eyes open. But what I'm going to do, remember what controls that vestibular system is that mechanism inside your ears that measures head movement. Now we're just going to do the same thing, but I want you to say yes, and then no. Now it's not this. I want it to be, yes, I want $1 million. No, I don't want more taxes. Okay, here we go, ready, go. So yes, and no. Oh, now we've definitely been drinking. That's it. Yes and no. Keep switching. And stop. So what that does, when we start moving that fluid all over the place, is the body's like, you're not giving me anything I can use. It's just constantly although it is possible, if we did that all the time, what would happen is the proprioceptors in the bottom of our feet, we would actually block vestibular feedback. They would actually block it. It would say, hey, don't pay attention to this. Just pay attention to what you feel on the bottom of your feet. So it's just something that we can put into whatever we do with kids or adults that's very important for balance and all the other things we do. Now we're going to mess with that a little bit more because it's not just balancing here or balancing there. Balance is dynamic. Balance requires our body to balance in different positions and things like that. So what we're going to do, when I blow the whistle, you're going to skip around the room. I'm going to call out a number. If I call out 1, you have to balance on 1 limb. If I call out 2, you have to balance on 2 limbs. This is balance on 2 limbs. It's boring, but it's 3, you have to balance on 3. 4, you have to balance on 4. The rule is you can't do the same thing twice. All right, first time through, it's easy. After that, not so much. All right, here we go. So skipping around the room, go.
Warm up lang.
2. And skip.
Pero pwede mong gawin sa mga kliyente.
1.
Pang warm up mo na eh.
And skip. 3. And skip. 2. Yeah. You know what? We can have everybody go at the same time. Let's just go ahead and line up this way facing me. So let's have everybody line up this way facing me this way. So just all the way down. All the way down. All the way down. All the way to the end of the room. Good. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. This is not a race. So do not do this fast. We got too many people in this room to make this a race. So don't make this a race. What we're going to do is I'm going to have you start in different positions. And when I say go, the only rule is you can't use your hands to stand up. So when I say go, we're going to get up and we're just going to the other side of the room, we're going to skip to the other side of the room. All right, we're going to skip. Only rule is can't use your hands. And as soon as we get to the other side of the room, we're going to sit down again. All right, ready, go. No hands, skip. That's it, and skip. Good. That's it. Everybody go. Good. That's it. And sit down. Now I want you to lie on your stomach. No hands. No hands. So when I say go, you got to get up without using your hands. Don't look at some of you like, well, figure it out. No hands. Ready, go. No hands. And then skip and go. That's it. Okay, now I want you to lie on your side. I want you to lie on your side like you're sleeping. Again, no hands. Ready, go. That's it, good job. All right, now last one. I want you to lie on your back with your head facing facing to your feet yet. Okay, no hands. Ready, go. All right, give yourselves a hand. Okay, so let's take the fitness skills. Now, I can have that, I can spread this field out. I can make this 40 meters. If I wanted to do aerobic work, I could make this super long. So that when they get up, they have to run. But when I do this, when you did that, were you thinking, oh, I gotta run 20 meters. You weren't thinking that. It was, you're laughing and moving. Is your heart rate up? We're doing aerobic training. We're doing conditioning right now. But we're not thinking about that. Okay, so that's fitness. Now let's think about that sensory system that impacts learning and behavior. So what might we be working on if we're doing something like this? Coordination. Think about some of those sensory skills. We're in different positions and we have to move our head around the vestibular system. Could be directional because we got to figure out which direction to move. And so all kinds of different things. Now, come on out here, let's go and spread out on the floor. Now with this, we're going to be moving our body in different orientations, but it's a lot of core work. So here's what we're going to do. This is a bear. So everybody come down in the bear. And a crab is here. And a butterfly is here. So bear, butterfly, crab, bear, butterfly, bear, crab, butterfly, bear, butterfly, crab, bear, butterfly, bear, crab, and relax. Nice job. Give yourselves a hand. So that, again, we're having fun, but we're constantly changing the orientation of our body. We got to figure out all those, the liquid inside of our ears, listen, which way is up? Which way are we? How do we balance in this position? We're also working the core muscles a lot because we're switching the direction that gravity is hitting our spine. So we're having to constantly adjust and constantly do these different things. Okay, so everybody get with your partner again. You got 5 seconds to get with your partner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I want you to come down to this side of the room. Everybody come down here with your partner. Now what you're going to do with your partner is one partner put your hand on your head. Just one partner put your hand on your head. If your hand is on your head, you're the coach. And what you're going to do is you're going to give a plan to your partner. 3 different directions. So, if your first name again? Kieran. So Kieran, if I'm your coach, I'm going to say, I want you to run 10 steps, 10 shuffles, and then run in a circle and come back. So she has to remember all 3 of those, and then when I blow my whistle, they're going to do it. Now, notice we got a lot of different people who are going to have a lot of different plans. So we're going to have to, as we do what the coach says, we're going to have to look out for other people. We're going to have to adjust. We're going to have to adapt. So be as creative as you want. But you can say, roll 3 times, but they're going to do it to you too, so don't be too mean. All right, so back up. Everybody back up. Spread out, spread out, spread out, spread out, spread out, spread out. All right, ready? And whatever they do, you have to touch that wall to be done and then come back. So can everybody hear me? So listen up. Whenever you're done, you have to go all the way down. So if they say 10 steps, roll, whatever, you still have to touch that wall and then come back. Okay? So, coach has got your athletes ready? Here we go, ready, go! Give him a hand, give him a hand. All right, other person's the coach now. Other person's the coach. So tell him what you want him to do. All right, here we go. Ready? Go! See how we're covering the coach. And they give him a plan for 40 yards. So now executing your coach's plan. Remember everything. Nice job! Cheer him in! Nice work! Nice work! So realize what we just did without thinking about what we just did. We just did a 40-yard sprint. We did a 40-meter sprint. Our heart rates are through the roof. Heart rates are up, but it's not just, it's something that's fun. And we gave them, we had memory skills. We had to remember, they had to put their bodies in different, we could do this 3 or 4 times, and that's conditioning for our clients. Yeah, that's the conditioning at the end, and they don't think of it as conditioning. It's fun. Think about this too. Could we put a ball into it? One thing with, have you watched American football before? They throw the so I'll have my clients will say, I want you to run out 10 yards, turn right, then left, and I'm going to throw it. I have these guys that are very serious. They will do that for 15 minutes until they're breathing so hard, they'll come back, okay, here we go again. All right, what are we going to do? I couldn't get them to run back and forth for 15 minutes. There's no way, but it's just using that to have fun. Now I want you to go ahead and get with your partner, stay with your partner, and every 2 of you, you just need 1 cone. So you and your partner find 1 cone. So find 1 cone, and you're going to spread out throughout the room. Go ahead and put your cone down. Put your cone down. Just going to put it on the ground. And we're going to face each other, and we're going to take 1 step back from the cone. Just like that. So make sure you're not right next to somebody. Use this whole space. Use the whole space. Whole space. You're not going to want to be close to each other. So use the whole room. Spread out. Okay, now, I'm going to call out an exercise. I might say jumping jack. I might say push-up. I might say squat. Just whatever I say, just do whatever I say. If I say cone, you're trying to get the cone before your partner does. All right, so by the way, give yourself a break here. Only 1 step away from the cone. Don't be too far away from the cone. Just 1 step away from the cone. Facing your partner. All right, here we go. So 1 step back. There you go, good. Cone! I want to see if you're paying attention. I want to see if you're paying attention. All right, here we go. Jumping jack. Push up. Run in place. Squat. Turn around. Other way. Jump. Come. our boot camps and in our classes, no matter the age we're working with, if it sounds like we're doing a good job. All right, so let's do it one more time. Here we go. All right, and squat, lunge, push up, jump, turn around, other way, cone. All right, give yourselves a hand. All right, now I want you to stay with your partner. You're going to stay with your partner. I want one partner to stand like this. Okay, so what was your name? Adamov? Okay, so if you're my partner, I'm going to call out. If I say around, you're going to run around your partner. If I say under, I'm going to go under. If I say over, go down into a push-up, and I got to get over him, and he's got to get right back up. All right, so here we go. With your partner, arms out, spread out a little bit. Everybody spread out, spread out, spread out. Move back, move back.
Okay, masyadong lumayo.
All right, here we go. Around. Around. Under. Over. Under. Around. Over. And stop. Go ahead and switch it up. Go ahead and switch it up. So realize what this is doing. We talk about spatial, being able to identify space and our bodies, different things. We just created an obstacle course without having to set anything up. By the way, how much equipment have we used today? Almost nothing. Cones. We can show up to a field with nothing but cones. And I can do this all day. I'm just showing you some of the other stuff. So with these, with all these different things, no equipment, we can get a lot done. Our bodies can be obstacle courses. All right, so here we go. Other partner. And around. Under. Over. Under. Around. Over. Around. Under. And stop. Give yourselves a hand, everybody. And bring it in closer. Bring it in closer. So think about, in the last hour, a little bit more than an hour, how we've gotten more heart rate up. Was this aerobic? So it was aerobic. So we're getting all the advantages of an aerobic workout. But every single thing we did, you had to solve a problem with your brain on the spot. And by the way, we could repeat this same thing, the same format every day, and just change a couple little things. Just a couple little things. Maybe I do some different things here, different things there. And every day I would have to be figuring out new ways to do this. And okay, well, how could our brain constantly be forming new neurons? On top of the fact we're getting fit, on top of the fact that we're interacting and developing the social capacity and all these different things, it's the power of play. But the important thing is to understand why we're doing it. Now, if you like all of these activities, I want you to remember though, safety is very important. Don't go back to your clients and just, oh, I saw this in Bangkok, so let's go crazy. If you're in a small space, let's say you're in a gym and there's equipment on the ground and realize that people do not look around. And you know what I'm talking. I've had clients just skipping and run into a wall. And I'm just like, how could you possibly do that? I don't understand at all. But when they come into this environment where there's music and other people and new things, they lose this sense of spatial. That might not be a very good thing. If we are having our clients do hundreds of crunching exercises every day, that is not necessarily a good thing. Crunches are not a bad exercise, but is anyone familiar with Stuart Mcgill? If you've never read anything by Stuart Mcgill, now Jennifer, what I want you to do is I want you to breathe in through your belly and push your belly into your thighs. But as you do this, I want you to think about expanding, making this round up here. I want this to move. So breathe so much that the air comes up into here. To help you do that, you can kind of pull your elbows towards your knees. Okay, so here we go. So breathe into that belly, push that belly. Breathe into my hand up, there you go. Breathe into my hand, push that belly, that's it. There you go. And then come down. Okay, good. Now I want you to feel that belly into your thighs. Sit back even more and pull, there you go. Pull back in the elbows and breathe again. Fill this up here, good. And down, give me one more. We can see that movement up here?
Yes.
And then one more time. Breathe in, pull those elbows back, that's it. Breathe in, that's it. Pull the elbows back and down. Good job. Was that pretty difficult? And go and come up, thank you. So what you're gonna do with your partner is I want our dynamic core. So again, go ahead and come forward so you can see. Now this is how, if you watch a child, children do this naturally. We don't do this naturally as we get older because our core muscles have forgotten how to work together because we sit like this all day. So, what I'm gonna have you do is you're gonna look into your armpit as hard as you can. So really look into that armpit. Now I want you to reach towards my hand as hard as you can until you roll over. Now, don't push with this leg. So, and I'm gonna make sure you don't. So watch that heel, make sure. Now there's a possibility you might not be able to do it. Many people here might not be able to do this. So reach towards my hand now, reach. Look into that armpit. Well, I want you to look into your armpit. Look, you can lift your head, but not, that's it, reach. Look into that armpit, reach. Get my hand, reach. Reach. I'm going to assist her a little bit, so reach. So if I assist her, notice, that's good. We want that. Notice how this is behind that, that's very good. And she'll roll, eventually she reaches, and look how that came over. It just flopped over. But our body reflexively will do that. So now I want you to take this hand. So stay there. Now you're going to take this hand. I want you to watch this hand. Reach it up. Keep watching. Good. Notice she's going over. And it just naturally rolls over. All the muscles of our spine control that and make sure that it happens in the right way. Notice how, so that's called, this is extension. The first one is the flexion pattern. Well, so you notice you had difficulty with the flexion pattern. Extension was easy. Most men will struggle with the extension pattern because of upper body mobility. The problem with that, then, if we have them doing chopping exercises, they're creating that movement by doing this, not this, if that makes sense. So we're going to do that. Now, I want you to watch for a couple things, because you're going to see all of it, because it's going to be a challenge. Now come over, so you're going to reach. I want you to watch for one, I want you to watch for this leg pushing into the ground. But I also want you to watch, what I want to do is I want you to kind of fold up in the middle, like both legs come up, like you're trying to do a crunch almost. So I want you to watch for this. She comes up, legs come up, almost like a banana, so lift your legs up too. So you're going to see that, because the core muscles don't know what to do. We've done so many sit-ups, they think that this is the way our body needs to roll over.
Yeah.
That's you're going to be able to just hear, just like that. So, one partner is going to be on the ground. I want you to try to roll over each way, flexion and extension. Whatever arm is up, you're looking into that armpit.
Yep.
Okay? All right, let's give it a try.
Go.
Thank you very much.
Go.
Please kneel. to create some tension through here. What he's probably going to do is he's going to come up and he's going to end up creating this and going to bend your legs and do a crunch. So he's going to create this position with his lower back, which again, we can do sometimes, but we don't want to do that a whole lot. When I put the ball here, it makes it so that if he creates tension through here, he gets tension through all these muscles here, intercostals, even his lat muscles, but it doesn't create this situation. So what I want you to do is we're going to start just by putting your arms up straight, just like that. Yep, don't hold on, just arms straight, yep, just like that. Push down, that's it, push, 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 good. Now, bring your knees up and push your knees into the ball. There you go, good. Hold that right there. Now harder, harder. Now think about those muscles of the core. Are his lats, are these working right now? Yeah. Are these working? Harder. There you go. Are those, notice his neck is not here, his spine is not here, but all these muscles. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to take this ball away from him. So I'm going to count to 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Good job. So what we did is we worked those muscles without putting their spine in a bad position. What I want you to watch for is if they start to curl their neck up, which they probably will do because they don't know how to engage these muscles. So we're just going to neck flexion. Now we're going to do another one, and also make sure they're not holding on to the ball, because if they hold on to the ball, they can go into this position. I'm going to do another one. So go and come up. So start here, don't hold on, that's it. Push down, bring your knees up. Okay, now I'm gonna roll. It's just a little movement. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. That's it. It's a tiny movement, very good. But, yes, he's holding that ball. Lats, intercostals, small, and actually the smaller the movement, the better. So it's one more time. I'm torturing you, I'm sorry. So hands up. Tiny little, lots of tiny little motions make it constantly work. So we don't have to do big, that actually gets easier if I'm doing that. Okay, so that's the second one. Now go and relax. Now the third one. Remember that I called it the serape, that as soon as we go to, we need all the muscles to work across our body. So we're gonna come back up. So bring your knees up. So I'm gonna push down, bring your knees up. Now I want you to bring this hand above and put it on the ground, just like that. And this leg on the ground. All the way on the ground. Now, press down. I'm gonna try to take the ball. And then I'm gonna try to rock him side to side. I'm gonna try to take the ball again. I'm gonna try to rock him side to side. So, nice job. So notice how, and this is called a dead bug, because you're lying there like a dead bug. But what it does, because we use the ball, it allows us to work this whole relationship. Now, granted, we're not working our glutes. We're not working the whole core relationship. Our glutes are resting, our erector spinae is resting, but our lats, it makes everything stabilize through here. So I want you to get with your partner. You're gonna go through, first we're gonna do just straight arms, just have them hold 10 seconds, then rock them side to side for 10 seconds, and then have. Now, what we're going to do is, remember I talked about how the intercostals and these muscles here are very involved. And if these muscles are weak, what happens is our hips become very unstable. When our hips are unstable, there's a muscle, who knows what the muscle right back here is called on the sides? Quadratus lumborum. That, when our clients hold their back, or when we hold our back, mostly it's our quadratus lumborum that's tight because our core, these muscles here, don't know how to work together to make things work. So this is a way that we can teach them. So these are called prone alternating climbers. So what we're going to do is you're going to lie down, and I want you to reach, your hands and legs will come off the ground. You're going to reach your right hand, left leg. So reach your right hand, bring your left leg up to the side like you're climbing a mountain. So up here, think about your knee touching my hand. Yep, like that. Now reach with that right hand. Reach, bring that knee up, that's knee, that knee up. Reach with that hand, reach. right hand, reach right, and then bring it down, and switch. Opposite, reach, and switch. She said, oh shit. And go to the other side and reach. Notice. So notice, and then let's go to the other side and reach.
Yeah.
And down. So, and this is, by the way, everyone is probably going to do that. So what happened, you saw what happened to the other leg?
Yeah.
It went up. But when you're here, so watch this leg. If I can't stabilize my spine, and I try to bring this leg up, this leg is going to go out to flex my back, to make my quadratus lumborum stabilize. It should be neutral. Yes, so this leg, I should be able to sit this leg here, and I'm reaching. And then here, just like that. So let's go ahead and, one partner, really roll your head over. So come up, bring this. So some people are doing it, bend that leg, there you go, bring it up. Some people are doing this, but they have to come up here in order to do that. This muscle right here is doing that. That's not these muscles stabilizing. That's why we want to be here. Now, our clients, this is a pretty advanced movement. Our clients will struggle. We can have them start by just put your hands here, rest your head. We can have them start by just move the leg. So just move the leg here, and then go to the other side. We can start there. But what I want you to watch for is this. Move this leg. Watch for, because that means that they can't stabilize, use their muscles, and move to stabilize the spine. They have to bend their spine to make the movement work. So the clients, we're probably going to start just here, just teaching them how to move that without doing this. We want them to be able to move, their spine stays here, and they move around the spine. Okay, so it's called the bird dog or the all fours. Some things I want you to look for. For one, the shoulders, if we want to work this, the shoulders need to be over the hands. Shoulders, hands right there. If, this is what our clients will do, by the way, the shoulders will travel way behind the hands. When this happens, it makes these muscles work, but these muscles don't, because they're no longer against gravity. So most of our clients will line up here, but as soon as the exercise gets hard, they'll sit back like this. So watch for that. You really want them to be able to use their trunk. Now, you sit here, legs are bent at 90 degrees, very good. Now a bird dog is just going to straighten out this and straighten out this. Now what I want you to watch for is I want you to see if the hips dip. So I want you to watch for this. We don't want that. We want this to be working hard. We also want this in line with the glute. And one of the ways we can remind them of that is we can push down. Don't let me push you down. So push into my hand. Push, there you go. Push up. Very good. Okay, now I'm going to now push back. Push back, and there you go. So we're just going to give them different, because what this does, it makes the glute, the reason that this happens, you see that? The reason that happens is, for one, a transverse abdomen. This doesn't know how to work. But for two, we don't know how to use these muscles to help stabilize my hips. So we're going to do this, and there's a couple situations. So again, straighten out the leg. I want you to start by pushing down. And I want you to push into my hand. There you go. Push. There you go. Good. Okay, so make sure that that stays hard there. And then I want you to push this way, and then straighten that out. Okay, we'll do that on both sides. So everybody give your partner, we're going to do when we do that. So just learning how to do it more efficiently, when we understand how the core works, we can get more out of the exercise. So I need just one, be my volunteer. Now we're going to go into the same position. Now I want to see if that stability still works when we move. So you're going to go here, you're going to straighten your leg out, hand behind your head. I want you to rotate down and then rotate up. Rotate down, rotate up. Now you shouldn't see this. These muscles should be able to stabilize and allow movement here. That means that my core knows to stabilize and mobilize instead of just shutting down everything and going rigid. So as go ahead and keep doing it, keep doing it. So go. I'm going to come back here. Oh. I want you to mess with the leg a little bit. Go side to side and see if they're able to just stabilize here and mobilize here. If you find, nice, thank you. If you find that as soon as you touch their leg or move their leg that they're falling, it means that the only way they can stabilize their spine is to clamp down like that. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a try. With the hips, I will put, when I'm working with a client, I will put a cone, or I will put something on their back here, so that if they rotate and their hips rotate over, it'll fall off. I want the hips to stay even and only this move. All right, so go and rotate down. So as you rotate, that stays even, that's good. And then rotate up. Look at that elbow. Rotate down. Rotate up and the elbow, good. All right, so you see how that works. And we see again, we focus so much on here, the second